Let this be an omen. Don't mess with Tom Homan. Our video of the day comes to us from border czar and human rock slide, Tom Homan, who destroyed an anti-ICE heckler that interrupted him during a speech. Roll it, Clem.
They're playing the long game. Let's release them in the community. Wait 3 or 5 years. Pardon me?
Are you an MS-13 member? It says so.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. I got a question. No. I got a question for you. Why don't you come up here and hand me that picture? Bring it. USA!
That's so good.
I like a guy who says pitcher.
Right.
He looks like the Thing with a hangover. Which is a compliment.
Yeah.
But the question remained, do they have morons like that all over the country?
They got morons like this all over the country. This guy wouldn't respect the surface nation. This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a Border Patrol agent. This guy lives in his mother's basement. The only thing that surprises me, you don't have purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser. And you're such a badass, meet me off stage in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. I guarantee you, he sits down to pee.
There's nothing wrong sitting down to pee. It's the only way some of us can reach the bowl. But this is another example of how Trump's messaging does all the heavy lifting of deportation. When Trump said he would deport millions, that incentivized illegals to leave or just stay in their own country. When Trump promotes alligator Alcatraz, that incentivized it even more. Plus, it provides the alligator community with much-needed jobs. When ICE rounds up illegals at a weed farm, the images go global, encouraging others from not even trying to come here. And Tom Homan, just looking at him, makes you want to board a bus and go to Tijuana. He gives off a vibe that shaving cream is for wussies. He's a walking, talking human version of the wall. Now, compare that to the previous border czar. The only people she put fear into are the bartenders who cut her off. Steve, is he not the perfect man for the job?
Listen, absolutely perfect. He's a complete badass. And, you know, it was like 3 o'clock high. He said, I'll meet you at the final bell, right, on the side of the stage here. And there's a thing called old guy strength, which I'm sure he has, right? And we're in the military and law enforcement his entire life. And believe me, he would end up on the top of that showdown if it were to happen. But to your point about deterrence, too, to be serious for a second, that's such a big deal. According to the New York Post, 1 million illegals have self-deported already.
Right.
And counting, right? Every single day. And also we've incentivized self-deportation. But that deterrence effect is so massive.
And the great thing is, people like Debbie Wasserman Schultz amplifies it by saying how horrible the conditions are.
Right.
Oh my God, they have to poop and brush their teeth in the same place. Yeah, it's called a bathroom, lady.
Well, yeah, what does she do in her house?
Yeah. Oh, I poop in the closet and I brush my teeth in the. By the way, I do think that it's weird, but that's just a personal problem I have, Tudor. But it is funny. It's like how much if you're thinking of coming here now, like if I wanted to go to Sweden and that guy was in charge of Sweden, I wouldn't go.
No, I know. I'm like, this is our border czar compared to your border czar. You know,
Yeah.
When I first saw him when he was in the first administration, I was like, oh, this guy is he's different. And then I was like, oh, he's ours. Like, I love him.
Yes.
I want to keep him. And as for brushing your teeth and going to the bathroom in the same spot, I'm like, has she ever been to a hotel? I mean, does she complain? Does she go down and go, where is my teeth brushing sink?
Yeah.
What is with these? That's your best comeback?
Yeah, and by the way, your toothbrush and the toilet are in the same place, and never mind. But every time you flush, bacteria floats up. That's why you have to keep your toothbrush in the medicine cabinet. Men's Health. I remember writing with Jeff. You're used to hecklers.
Yeah.
What did you make of Homan's strategy?
I thought it was pretty effective, and it was great. I love any time someone chants a USH. Just tries to get a USA
Just
chant
out of the blue.
It's always.
Have you ever done that?
No, but I'm gonna. I think it's great. I also, I do hate this as much as I like it.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's cool. I think it's funny. But it just gives a lot of people on the left, like, an angle to be like, that's immature. And, like, look at the type of guy that's in charge. Because I think he's doing a fantastic job. And I love the way he's not afraid to go back at people. But this guy was a heckler and a jackass and trying to make a big thing. So he made a big thing back. It was a little immature to be like, meet me in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. But I liked it and I hated it. And I think he's awesome.
He loved it and he hated it.
Yeah.
Oh. Sounds like your act. Kennedy, what did you make of that back and forth?
That's what Tom Homan has to do. Because think about the people who are being glitter bombed and having boulders thrown at their vans, and they're being doxxed and followed home. Who do they want to follow? Someone like Alejandro Mayorkas, who was like, well, the people who are whipping Haitian migrants, frankly, it's worse than slavery, and we're going to have to look at some things, and probably we're going to have to deport these U.S. citizens. Or do you want someone like that, who's like, I your mother in the face with your... And the rank and file federal law enforcement who are having to carry out these policies, they have a lot more respect for a guy like Homan. And then the guy sitting at home knitting a cozy for his own testes, he's going to rethink taking it to Homan on stage, because, you know, when Tom Homan's done, he's going to get that guy in a headlock, and he's not going to choke him out. His farts are going to do that for him.
Yeah. You know, didn't see that one coming. But you know what's interesting? It reminds me of how much fun it is when you see environmentalists, like the crazy ones, blocking traffic, and when they block like women, they can't do. The women just sit there and they're like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And then there's always the trucker who gets out, grabs a person, just tosses him.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.